I knew I was going to forget to record. So again, thank you so much for being on, or if you're watching the replay, for catching the replay. So part of the reason, and I'm going to admit people as we go here, that I wanted to do this was because I have made it my mission and my passion to help women understand that they can lead happy, healthy, fulfilling lives without feeling deprived, with having positive self-image, with having a positive mindset around weight loss, with just really having a healthy relationship with themselves and with food. And I think for so long, for me, I felt like I was kind of taught the opposite. And so I want to teach you guys exactly how to lose weight without giving up those favorite foods. Because you know what, if there was a world without sweets, like that is a world I don't want to be a part of. And maybe for you it's sweets, but maybe for you it's something salty or a good steak or whatever it is, like a good burger, like you can have it. So I'm going to teach you exactly how I've done this and been able to be my happiest and healthiest and in my best shape and maintain my weight with ease at age 40. Like I'm finally coming around to it at age 40. And so I don't want people to have to walk in my shoes and live and make the mistakes that I made and have to spend years suffering spinning their wheels. But first, so I really love to give things away. If any of you guys have been part of the free cocktails and cookouts group, you know I've been giving stuff away every day. And so I want to give stuff away tonight. So tonight I'm going to be giving away a tub of my beloved Mama Juice. So if you guys follow me on social media, you know this stuff is like the eighth wonder of the world. I call it Mama Juice, but you do not need to be a mama to drink this stuff. So this is technically a pre-workout, but it is an absolutely all-natural source of energy that gives me clear-headed energy to run on all day long. There's nothing artificial. There's no down like there is for coffee or other energy drinks. So you guys, this stuff is like, I mean, it's hard for me to give it away, but I'm so excited that you guys are joining. So I want to be able to give this away. So it does help you if you are someone that likes to exercise. It decreases your rate of perceived exertion, so you can work harder in your workouts, you can get more out of them, and it will, like I said, give you that clear-headed energy. Or maybe you don't work out, but you're just trying to ditch the coffee. Oftentimes a lot of people try and ditch that, and they also try and ditch the fact that they fill it with creamers and sugars. This is an absolutely amazing alternative, and it's also great for that like midday slump when you feel like I don't know how I'm gonna make it through the afternoon, my kids are driving me crazy. Or yes, thumbs up, I see. Does anybody have the mid-afternoon slump? Give me a hands up if you get the mid-afternoon slump or the mid-morning. For me, it's like I get up so early to do my things that by like 10 a.m. I'm like, please. So this is my jam. So I want to be giving this away to you guys tonight. So here is how you can win. I want you to take a screenshot at some point during this of either just your computer screen, or you can grab a selfie with all of us in the background, and you're going to go ahead and tag me on in your stories, either on Facebook or on Instagram. My Instagram handle is at Christina with a CH and then _ McClurkin. And then if it is on Facebook, you can just go find me there. So you're going to tag, and then I want you to write your biggest takeaway from tonight. So take your picture whenever, but when you do it sometime during this call, because at the end I'm going to flip through and see who's done it so I can pull a winner for this tonight, you guys. Okay, so let's get started. I wanted to share with you because I want you to hear where I'm coming from and how much I struggled with this. So I think sometimes if you follow me or any of the coaches that invited you here on social media, it might look like we have it all together, right? Like we know everything about how we're eating, and we always have and we always will. And you might say, that's easy for them, but I can't do it. And so here's the thing. That hasn't always been the case for me, or really for anybody here. And that's the reason why you're here listening, and the reason why we're here talking about how we finally found what worked for you. So I just want to share with you a little bit of my story, because maybe you can relate. Maybe you can hear or see a little bit of yourself in it. Believe it or not, growing up, I was always the biggest of my friends. So right now I'm 5'2", which is short for an adult woman, but this is the height I was in 6th grade, you guys. I was literally like at the center of my basketball team, if you can believe it, in 6th grade. And so I was always like the biggest. And I remember distinctly people, even in my family, making comments about my bubble butt, right? And it was so lovingly, we love your bubble butt. Like, do you ever pinch your kids' butts? Like, I love your butt. Well, it was just that kind of thing that my family would mention. It was just my shape, but it made me really self-conscious, you guys, especially of the lower half of my body. And especially because, again, I was in 6th grade. I was the person that was the tallest of all their friends. I just felt like I was bigger than everybody in general. And I was conscious of my bottom and my thighs and all of that. I remember I used to literally compare like how much my thighs would spread on my seats at school or like in the car next to somebody else. And that was just like a comparison that stuck in my head and stuck with me for years. And then, you know, moving on to college, I lived with roommates who were stick thin, and we all lived the college life of like drinking on the weekends and hitting up the corner store for pizza and calzones at night, and, you know, eating Pop-Tarts for breakfast. And like they didn't gain an ounce, and I gained the freshman 15 in like the first 15 minutes. And so it was the kind of thing where I was even more self-conscious then, like there was something wrong with me. And I used to wish, I remember I used to wish, I wish I could eat anything I wanted like they did and not gain weight. And when I got older and wiser, and I, you know, I have a degree in physical therapy and I started working in healthcare, I realized it's not always about the weight, you guys, it's about health, right? And, but the other thing is that you cannot, and it's so much easier to say that, but you can't deny that self-image comparison, that all of those things exist regardless. And so, you know, and I would remember people would even say to me things like, but you have the prettiest face. And they thought it was a compliment. But to me, I heard the rest of my body is not as worthy or worthwhile of a compliment, but my face is, right? So I remember still thinking, like, I love who I am. And yes, I think that I'm a pretty and attractive person, but everybody thinks what I think about my body. Like, I remember thinking that again, when people would give you compliments. Can anyone relate to that, where people give you what they think is a compliment, but to you, it's really not? It's something that sticks with you. So that was it for me. So needless to say, I felt different. I always felt like I was like big boned, right? Like that was just it. That was my body shape. I was big bone. Neither of my parents were petite. So that must have just been me. But of course, as a 20-something-year-old girl, I went to school in Boston. I grew up in a city. I compared myself to everybody. And I had friends at that age that were starting to get married, right? We were starting to go on spring breaks and vacation. And that's kind of where I started with trying every diet imaginable. Not to mention, I grew up in a household where my mother was always on some sort of diet too. So it was a culture. And so, you know, I know as women, most of you guys can relate that it's nothing that just came on in adulthood. We learn our eating habits from our parents, oftentimes from other women that have influenced us, from people around us. You know, I remember my mother was either, you know, sliding the Weight Watchers thing for points, or she was, you know, eating grapefruit before every meal, or we would sit down to dinner and she would skip the dinner after she served us because she would say, oh, well, I had a Snickers for lunch. And so like that was, she was not going to eat dinner that night. So, you know, these things, whether or not you know it when you're doing it, it's something that stuck with me. And so for me, and for one of the reasons why I try to help women so much, is because whether or not you realize it, you're influencing the people around you, whether it's your kids, you know, your other women, what have you. So I tried everything. I think the first thing I tried was Weight Watchers because a good friend of mine was getting married and I was the maid of honor in her wedding. I tried South Beach. I tried Atkins. I tried obsessive calorie counting and keep in track of every morsel in my mouth on MyFitnessPal. And you know, the thing of it is not all calories are created equal, of course. And tracking can be obsessive. I remember being out to dinner and I had like my phone under the table to put it in and track what it was. Because if I didn't know what was in it, I wasn't going to have it. And so can any of you guys relate to any of this? Like, does any of this ring a bell with you? Yeah, like it's crazy how we all do it, but we like, shh, because we don't think that anybody does, or that it's just us, right? And that's why I wanted to bring us all together here to let you know it's not just you. And so I remember I would, you know, count those calories and think like I had to live on 1,200 calories a day, but then I would eat that by 4 p.m. and I'd be like, well, there goes that day. So I'll just dig into my ice cream, right? Because it was just, there was no way to sustain on that. I would, you know, go to the gym and I would just do the elliptical for 60, 75 minutes thinking that was the trick, right? Or like I remember distinctly on Thanksgiving morning, like holiday mornings, I would go to like a 2-hour spin class because I knew I was going to be having turkey dinner and pumpkin pie. And so, you know, it wasn't for a lack of trying. It's just that it was not sustainable. And that is so important. So that's why I thank goodness that I came across this plan that now, and I don't call it a diet, it's a plan. And even though the word diet to me is everything we consume from our foods, it's not necessarily being on a restriction. It's everything we consume, our foods, the media around us, the energy around us. But this is really a plan because it has allowed me to eat the foods that I love, to exercise if I choose. Exercise is extra credit. I do because I really enjoy it, and it's my stress relief and it's my therapy. And obviously there's a whole host of other benefits, but that was another mistake I made. I used to live thinking I could out exercise what I ate or work it off. And it was a mentality that, well, if I have this, I'll just do extra cardio in the morning, or I'll just do, so it's not an even exchange, you guys, nor is it a healthy relationship with food and activity. So now I can enjoy the foods I love. I can exercise if I want. 30 minutes a day is great. I don't need to be pounding away on an elliptical for 60, 75, 90 minutes of my time. And my day is not wasted. And I could still lose the weight I wanted. I did lose the weight I wanted, and now I keep it off really easily, you guys. And I remember when I would hear people say that, I'd be like, there's no way, like, she's lying. It can't be true. So, here I am today, and I have lost over 30 pounds and kept it off. And tonight I want to teach you exactly how I did that, just in case you're somebody who's sick of doing like the whole yo-yo dieting thing like I was, and you feel like there's something wrong with you. Because if that's you, I'm telling you tonight that you will learn some things that will change your life. And I want you to be able to walk away from here tonight and with the tools that you can implement and you can use to start changing your life. Whether or not you decide to work with me or work with someone that invited you here, just because that's what I promised you guys. I want to give you something to take away that you can really just kind of make you think. Michelle, I see you're asking how long have I kept it off? Probably at least 6 years at this point, but I'm not going to lie. I have gone up and down 10 or pounds or so based on what I'm eating. And it just goes to show you, because I love to exercise. Like I said, I exercise every day, not excessively, 30 minutes a day, but most days, it's not even every day of the week. But despite that, my scale has fluctuated depending on whether I'm kind of eating in alignment with the things I'm going to tell you here tonight. So number one, and if you want to take notes, please feel free to take notes. I am going to be sending out this replay tomorrow. And the coach that invited you here will also have access to it, so they can send it to you too. Mindset. You guys, everything starts up here. One of my favorite quotes is that once your mindset changes, everything on the outside will change along with it. And I like to think of the contrary. If you don't change what happens between your ears, you can change everything you want on the outside and about your physical body, but you're not going to see those changes. It's one of the problems I had my whole life, thinking that my outside defined me, thinking that food was bad or good, that it was the enemy. Brownies, bad. Cookies, bad. Bread, got to skip the bread basket. Pizza, no good. So every time I ate these foods, I felt guilty, or I felt like I was bad because I was failing whatever diet plan I was on that told me I couldn't have those things. So over time, you guys, that's how the mind works. It starts to build this belief system of I suck. Like I fail at everything. I can't be successful. I suck, right? And so you have to break down those barriers. I had to break down those barriers of I can't lose the weight. And then it turned into, well, I don't care, right? Because the truth was I did care. Saying I didn't care was a way for me to say like, it was a coping mechanism with the fact that I wasn't being successful. So I had to say those things so I didn't feel like a failure. But here's the thing, you guys, you can change your mindset with work and intentional effort. You can begin to believe that you are a total badass and beautiful and amazing and the winner, because that's what you are. But you have to work on this to do it. So somehow we understand that if we want to get stronger arms, we have to lift weights. But yet we don't understand or don't believe that if we want to be stronger in our minds, that we have to work it. You guys, the mind is a muscle. It needs to be worked just like anything else. And it needs to be worked every single day, just like your workouts. You wouldn't expect to get results from working out once a week, where you would expect to get results from 30 short minutes a day, most days. It's the same thing with your mind. And so when you start to change the way your mind thinks, when you start to actually believe these things, it becomes much easier to wake up and actually win your day, actually be successful at what you're trying to do. And I'm not just talking about with your eating and your fitness. I'm talking about life, you guys. Changing your mind will change your life. But yet it's the number one thing that everybody overlooks. So if you want to lose that 5, 10, 15, 50 pounds, I don't care how much it is, you have to change your mind. Because like I said, even if you didn't change it and you somehow managed to lose the weight, it's going to come back on. Or you're not even going to see yourself through the lens that you wanted at that weight. You're not going to see yourself as the person that you thought that number would be the answer, because the number is never the answer, you guys. The number doesn't give you self-love. The number doesn't define you. That stuff has to come from inside. Okay, so that's number one, the mind. Number two, a system. So another one of my favorite quotes, I'm going to give you a quote for all my points because I love quotes. Systems allow ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results predictably. However, without a system, even extraordinary people find it hard to predictably achieve ordinary results. So I'm going to say that again. Systems allow ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results predictably. Without a system, even extraordinary people cannot predictably get ordinary results. So how many of those people on this call have ever felt ordinary? I'm going to raise my hand because I know I have. Just felt average, if not below. I would see people, I remember again, reading Shape magazine or seeing Women's Health or some fitness thing, or even as a teen, down to a teenager. And I would see people that were thin or in shape or with defined muscles or had that before and after. And I would just think, I am the only person in the world that none of these things work for. There must be something wrong with me. But here's the problem, you guys. There was nothing wrong with me. And there's nothing wrong with you. It's not you. It's the system. What no one ever gave me in all of those things I tried before was a duplicatable system. What I got when I got those crash diets or those elimination deprivation diets like Atkins or Southbreach, I got unhealthy. I remember when I did Atkins, it was for a couple weeks before my husband and I were going on vacation. I was in my 20s. And we wanted to lose like 5 or 10 pounds. And at the time I was bartending because I had graduated school. I was working my physical therapy job and I wanted to pay down some loans I couldn't consolidate. So I was bartending. So I would come home at the end of my shift at like 1 in the morning and I would eat a dozen chicken wings. A dozen chicken wings. I would take them home with me. It was a bar that we worked at and I would eat a dozen chicken wings. But I would not let myself have fruit. And I love fruit. I wouldn't let myself have grapes, an apple, banana, because on Atkins, you can have fried chicken wings, but you can't have an apple. And I remember sitting there like, this is me working in a hospital with a degree in healthcare. And I was like, this doesn't make sense to me. So all those things were give me was a crash diet that made me unhealthy and something that was impossible to do on a regular basis. It was a quick fix for short term for that vacation I wanted to be on, but without regard for my long-term health. And the goal is not to fit into my skinny jeans for this weekend. My goal is to fit comfortably in my jeans for life. My goal is to be healthy for life. And so what I have found now is a proven system where everything that's put together and handed to me is duplicatable. I don't have to use my brain. I have specifics. I wake up and I just know what I'm going to do because it's been planned out and it's been tried and tested and proven by other people. And it fits a regular lifestyle, you guys. I can have fruit with my breakfast. I mean, how many holidays can you show up and not eat the pie? How many birthdays can you celebrate and not have a bite of the cake, right? How many Friday nights could you watch your kids get like pizza for takeout and tell yourself you can't have any, only to like put them to bed and go binge on something else because you deprived yourself of the pizza? You are not the one that is flawed. The systems that you've tried in the past are flawed. You were just given the wrong tools. So that to me is something that I have reflected on over time and realized it wasn't me. It was just that none of those things were things that I could do for life. None of those things actually made me feel healthy. So when I was able to look back at the past, I understood that having a system was so important, because I was always that person. And I'm going to ask you again to raise your hand if you've said this. Have you ever said, I know what I have to do, I just have to do it? If I could raise my feet right now, I would. I hear that all the time from people. You guys, it is not that simple. If we all just knew what we were supposed to do, we would do it, right? But things get in the way, like life, stress, changes in schedule, busy kids. That's why you have to have actually a system for you, right? Someone that says like, here's how to do it, but also the mindset shift that you can. Because a negative mind never led to positive outcomes, you guys. A negative mind will never lead to positive weight loss. Negative mind will never lead to self-love. A negative mind will never lead to anything. All right, so we've got mindset, we've got a system. And then the last thing that has been the most powerful for me is accountability. And it's the one thing I'm going to tell you I never thought I needed, ever. I knew how to eat right. I liked to exercise. Didn't need anybody to keep me accountable. But Ed Mylett, if you don't know him, look him up. He's one of my favorite motivational people to follow, to read. He has a quote that says, the most powerful force on the planet is what we become. The most powerful force on the planet is that we become consistent and congruent with the expectation of our peers. So you hear yourself, you've heard that saying, like we become a combination of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Pretty much saying the same thing. So sometimes when you're trying to get healthy, or you're trying to lose weight, or you're trying to meet certain goals, you spend a lot of time with people that don't have those same goals, that do have habits that won't help you reach those goals. Maybe they don't have a goal of losing weight. I can tell you from experience that the people that you surround yourself with are the people that you become more like. So have you ever noticed on Facebook that your newsfeed, or Instagram, whatever, that your newsfeed gets filled with people that have the same interests and views and all of that stuff as you? You guys, that's called the algorithm. And they do that for a reason, because they're trying to surround you with people that are like you. So if you read negative things, if you're commenting on people's negative posts, if you're one of those people that says, I can't stand Facebook because it's filled with so much negative stuff, it's because you're looking at it. It's because you're reading it. So Facebook knows you spend time hovering over those posts. That's what happens in life, you guys. It's what you choose to surround yourself with. Feed your mind, feed your brain. So, if you want to change your life, it's going to take some intentional changing, some intentionality to surround yourself with people. My husband does not eat the same as me. Didn't have the goal of losing weight. My 3 and 5-year-old kids sure as heck don't have the same goals as me for their health. Can I stop hanging out with them? Probably not. But what I could do, and what I did, is I surrounded myself with other women like me who had the same goals of being happy, being healthy, being fit, supporting each other, lifting each other up, ditching the comparison. And so what I've worked so hard to create is a community of just that, women that are constantly cheering each other on, lifting each other up. Yes, we fail. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. But in the community, we pick each other back up, right? We support each other. So that's the power of accountability. Together, we are much stronger and much better than we are alone. And we can absolutely become something more amazing. So why am I so passionate about the community? Because I know if I couldn't do it alone, you probably can't either. And you guys, guess what? Like, that's okay. That was also a hard thing for me to admit. Does anyone have a hard time admitting that? Like, they can't. I'm so type A. I was like that person that I can do it all by myself. Well, having twins taught me that I can't. Yes, Marina, the community did it for you. We all struggle. We struggle with things. And when you share your struggles, guess what you get? You get people to help you with solutions if you're around the right people. You get people to like lift you up and support you in moving in the right direction. So, and you know what? If you're one of those people listening in and you can do it alone, like that's awesome. Like you don't need probably to listen to anymore. You don't need anything that I'm going to talk about. But if you're like the rest of us, you might need a group of people that have your back. I know I did. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to just take a couple minutes to share with you what community that I have has made, and why it's made so much of a difference for hundreds of women, for the women that invited you here, if it's myself or if it's somebody else that invited you here, you know, why it's made such a difference. And I think maybe a couple of you might be interested in hearing why. So number one is we work on our mindset together. So we read personal development, right? We learn together, we grow together, we have a safe zone where we can be vulnerable, because that's also important, you guys. Sometimes it's hard to fix your mindset when we've gone through years of, we have to unlearn. You know, it's funny, I have a post I planned for next week just talking about transformation actually begins with unlearning. Sometimes we think it begins with learning, but it actually begins with unlearning all of that stuff that actually has led us down the wrong path together. So even if you join the community and you were never to lose 1 pound, or maybe you don't even have a pound to lose, but you just want to be a more positive person and happy and healthy, you will walk out of there or just become more confident and more secure than you ever have been in your life. And that's a promise, because there's nothing more important than that. It will change every relationship you have, not only with yourself, with your family, with your coworkers, with your friends. And it's just, to me, it's been the most life-changing part. So the other thing that this community gets is a proven system. So we talked about needing a system to work. So it's a system that's worked for me and for so many others. And it includes a way to eat, you guys. There's a couple options based on what you struggle with most, but it's a way to eat that can work for your life. You don't have to deprive, you don't have to eliminate. You can eat on vacation, you can dine out, you can get takeout, you can do all of the things that you want to do without feeling bad about it. And the thing about the eating plan is not only does it help you lose the weight if that's your goal, or maintain the weight if that's your goal, or even gain healthy weight if that's your goal, it actually helps you stay healthy. Like, that is the most important thing, you guys. You know, I have to say, with 3 little kids, in and out of daycare since infancy and elementary school, and working in healthcare, I've maybe got sick once in the past 4 years since doing this, you guys. So having your health, it's important on so many levels, because, you know, women don't have time to be sick. Like, we're busy people. And even when we are sick, like, we don't get sick days. I don't know about you. I don't get a sick day. My husband might, but I don't. So that is really another thing that I've just reflected on, that's been totally life-changing for me. Like, sure, could I eliminate carbs and lose 10 pounds in 10 days? Yeah. But does that change my health? Does it improve my health? Is it something for the long term that's going to help me prevent disease? Because, you know, I'm at that age where and I've always been in that field where I see that all around. So, you know, you're going to get the community, you're going to get the work on your mindset, you're going to get the system handed to you that's going to just teach you all of the tools that I was telling you about. You're going to get a 30-day supply of superfoods that make you feel like superwoman, because, again, you can't discount, you guys, that what you put in your body, it's like putting in prime fuel or putting in less than prime fuel. So, you know, we want to run on really, really, really good energy. And those superfoods also help decrease your cravings. They improve your sense of satisfaction throughout the day. They improve your digestion. There's pre and probiotics. I could go on and on. But the game changer really is the nutrition plan, you guys. It's what I live by. It allows you to still eat your tacos or your ice cream or your brownies or your birthday cake, but it's designed specifically to allow you to lose weight, if that's the goal, while you enjoy those things guilt-free, simply by tracking a little bit better. You know, I kind of like to associate it with a budget. So, you know, if you live by a budget for your money, you know what money you have left over for, like, maybe a manicure, maybe a pedicure, something that's a treat, but you don't have to feel guilty about it because you actually budgeted for it, right? So you can go spend it and you feel confident that you know everything else is taken care of, and you can do that. So that's kind of what these eating plans are like. Like, you know, you might be going out for date night and you want a few glasses of wine, or you've got a birthday party coming up and you want a cake or a slice of pizza. You just kind of budget for it during the week. And that way, when you enjoy it completely guilt-free and you're really happy about it, instead of feeling like, oh, I'm off track again. I'm off the plan. I'm bad. I had a bad day, right? Like, you didn't. It's okay. And you should enjoy it. And then the last thing that comes with it, and most importantly, is kind of the accountability, like I talked about. So it's the last thing I ever needed. It's the biggest game changer of them all. And it's what was missing from everything I tried in the past. Nobody was checking in on me when I was doing Atkins and saying, like, how's it going? how are those chicken fingers working for you, right? Like nobody was checking in on me when I was, you know, in MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal wasn't messaging me and saying, hey, how are you feeling on those calories? Do you have good energy, or are you super cranky because you're not eating enough, right? Or are you feeling like you're living life, or are you feeling like you're tied to this tracker here that's telling you can't have another bite because you met your calorie count for the day? So, you know, Grant Cardone, another one of my favorite motivators, when I talk about personal development, this is what I mean. It's really good to listen to inspirational people. You know, he says, if you could have done it alone, you already would have. And it's plain and simple. Like, that's it. If I could have done it alone in the past, I would have. And it wasn't until I found this community of support that it worked. And the truth is, you guys, everybody needs help. And it's nothing to be embarrassed of. It's nothing to be ashamed about. You know, if you've already tried it alone and you haven't been successful, like, why wouldn't you try with the help of community? And why wouldn't you try with the help of somebody to hold you accountable? So since you guys all took the time to be on and listen to this, and I know many of you were interested in what it is and this kind of solution that helps, I just want to tell you kind of, if you chose to take part in this solution, the value of everything that you're going to get, you guys. So same for everyone, whether it's me that invited you here or a different coach that invited you here, you'd get a full year of on-demand workouts. It kind of works like a Netflix. So you know how you can go on Netflix and you can pick whether you want comedy or drama or a TV show or a movie. You know, we have genres of workouts. So things like Pilates and yoga, dance, boxing, cardio, weights, programs that combine the two or three or whatever. You get 30 days of those superfoods I was talking about. So a year of the on-demand workouts is typically $99. A 30-day supply of those superfoods that I was mentioning that have helped me improve my digestion, lose weight, keep it off. My hair, skin, and nails have gotten stronger. I've stayed healthy because of all of the antioxidants and adaptogens. Normally for 30 days, $130. The eating plan that actually teaches you how to read food labels, how to clean out your kitchen, what makes a good carbohydrate, what doesn't, how to eat when you eat off takeout menus, when you're dining out, when you're on vacation, at a wedding, at a barbecue. Normally for that, $120. So you've got $100 for the workouts, $130 for the superfoods, $120 for the eating plan. So that alone is $350. And then if you throw in on top of that, coaching, one-on-one coaching and support and accountability, I don't even know how to put a value on that, you guys. Like, I know that there are nutritionists that charge like $100 an hour for a consultation. So say we ballpark that at like, you had an hour a week, even though you're going to get daily check-ins and daily support, that could be $400. So you're looking at all of that, like $750, you guys, in value. And so I know you're probably like, well, I'm not spending $750. Well, me neither. And I couldn't afford it if that was the case. So I want to give you a deal because I love deals. I don't know if you guys love deals. I'm huge on deals. So there is a special package where you can get all of that for as little as $140, you guys, which to me is like amazing. I mean, I can't even say amazing as like probably an understatement. And if you really want the details of an eating plan, that's going to teach you all of that, at the most $200, you guys. Now, I know that $200 can mean a lot of things for different people, but it's not just the cost, it's the value of all of those things that you're getting, because it encompasses all three of the things that I was talking about that have been that total solution for life. And then really, I love to give people super amazing deals. So because I wanted to give some of this away tonight, because this is also game changing, and I don't say that lightly, the first 5 people that are on tonight's call, and I know a lot of people couldn't be on live because it's bedtime, and so there's quite a few of you here that have a chance. I'm going to be gifted a 40-day supply, which is over a month, of this Mama Juice, which, like I said, will help you not only wake up and get it done and not press snooze, but really think more clearly all day long, have great energy, get more from your workouts. I mean, it's my fuel. So the first 5 people tonight that either get in touch with me, if I was the one who invited you here, or whatever coach invited you to listen in on this, will get a 40-day supply of free tub of our favorite Energize. And I know that it's really hard to invest in yourself, you guys. And that's why I kind of like to do these things, so that not only do you hear all of the value you get a person, you get me, you get the person that invited you here, you get all of us actually as a community, and you're going to get a special gift. Because I know that that is sometimes really hard for people to invest in themselves. And that's kind of circles back to that mindset where you might not think that you're worth it, right? Not that it's not worth it, but maybe that you're not worth the time or the money or the energy. So I wanted to thank you guys for taking the time on being here, offer the special gift, let you know everything that comes with it. And if anyone, I don't know if anyone on here is on Instagram, I'm just going to go take a peek if you've taken a picture or done a congrats. And if not, we'll just pull a name from somebody that's on here. I'm just going to go really quick and see. And of course, my phone is dying. I look like outside with the kids all day long. But yeah, snap a picture. You know, I'll pull a winner then for tomorrow and let somebody know who that is. And you can expect a message from, you know, myself as a follow-up, the coach that invited you here. We'll be sending out the replay. But really, I want to just leave you guys with a message in that, like I said, so many people just don't can see the value in what it is, and are so scared because of that, again, that fear of failure, right? Because we feel like if it doesn't work, it's one more thing that we failed at. And the reason I encourage you to try this is because that was me beforehand. And I was so nervous because it's not that I didn't believe the system worked. I really did believe the system worked. But more so, I was worried is, what if I didn't succeed again? But now I have the tools. I have the changes in my mindset. I have the one-on-one accountability. So you guys all have that in you. And I just want you to know that. That's the hardest part, is believing that you have it in you and opening the door to let somebody else in to help. So I wanted to just open up the floor now, and I can check social media after. So does anybody have, you can unmute yourself. Does anybody have any comments or questions? You know, I wasn't able to look in the chat thread as we got here. I saw a couple things pop up, but please feel free to unmute and let me know if you have any comments or questions or anything like that. It's like half asleep because you're like me, right? It's bedtime. Anybody that's on here that is familiar with the plans and programs that, you know, can relate to any of it, or? Oh, Holly, you're welcome. You're welcome. And same with you, Michelle, you're welcome. Really want to thank you guys all for taking the time to be on. I know it can be bedtime with the kids, and it can be hard to just take some time out and listen to something and come in with it with an open mind. It won't allow you to unmute. Okay, let me check the volume here. I think I muted everybody on entry. Well, I just unmuted all. So if you have a lot of background noise, go ahead and mute yourself. Because now we're going to hear everybody's house.
Well, my dogs will be barking up a storm.
I know. Usually it's my kids coming down asking.
Yeah.
But I tired them out. I was in the pool all afternoon, so they passed out.
That was a perfect idea.
Yeah, yeah.
There they go.
All right. Well, that's okay. Do you have a question, Kim, or because otherwise I can mute you?
Oh, no, I'm going to mute. I'm going to actually go to bed. You guys have a great night. And thank
you. You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Does anybody else have any questions about anything?
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you, like I said, thank you guys for taking the time to listen and be here. Awesome. All right. Well, I'll let everyone else get to bed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the people that were on this call. I'm going to draw one lucky winner. So anyone that was on tonight, one person's going to win this. If you decide, if you're one of the first 5 that decide that they want to join us, you're also going to get one of this. And maybe as far as this weekend goes, if you decide this weekend is something you want to do, I'll send you a couple days worth, because we got individual packets too, guys. Worth its weight in gold. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being on. Have a good night.
Good night.